Hey YouTube, how you guys doing today? Kevin here coming back at you with another video. So, working back on this motor, we can see how damaged the piston is. This piston right here was completely ran with no air filter and no side cover. The side cover that goes right here. So it might have had an air filter on it, but if you take the side cover off, the air filter doesn't matter. Now, I cleaned before the video all up in here, out and here. It was all dirt, and now I see why and where it went. This motor is just hammered. I think I get the angle so you can really see how dirty the crankshaft is. This is not from a lean condition. This is a product of dirt ingestion. And this thing is just hammered. See that? The other thing too I wanted to bring up, the purpose of this video. Now, I was going to do a top end series on this, which I'm going to do, but I wanted to talk to you guys a lot about these type of things, because this is a perfect example of what I've been talking about in some of my videos. Okay, if you don't put the gasket over here, and if you don't have that filter at the bottom or a plug in it, if you're not using the grommets that go into the motor to seal this air filter assembly, this could happen. This is exactly what I was talking about. It's not just I put on before, it could be a lean condition if you don't have those, which it absolutely could create. But worse, it could create a dirt ingestion, which was what happened here. Now, on a lean condition, okay, a lean condition, say the seal broke, you would have the scoring only on this side of the piston. But this is a dirt ingestion because you can see it on the intake side. And the fact that this thing overheated. This thing seriously overheated. This right here, you could tell because there are hot spots. See the brown, the dark brown? Those are called hot spots. So the engine really got hot. I mean, it got to the point where it was starting to move metal. And you can't feel that because you're on the video, watching the video, but that's like braille. This side right here, not so much, but you can see the dirt. Look, you can see the little spots of dirt embedded into the piston. You can see the hot spots. So this thing overheated to the point where this piston was expanding and actually locking up in the cylinder. Now, how do I know it's not a lean condition? A lot of people ask that question. It was a great question. In fact, some of my family, how do you know it's not a lean condition? See the rings? The rings are free. When you have a lean condition, they melt. These are not melted and they're not replaced. They move freely. So this is dirt ingestion at its finest, and it looks like there was a ton of it. It looks like they ran it for as long as they could and then had some issues with it, probably overheated the motor, smelled hot, they shut it down, and then ran it again later on. But it is literally 360 degrees of the piston all the way around. Right there, see it's on the side here, and if you look on this side over here. So these are why I tell you guys it's very important to seal up the engine. See, we're used to having the carburetors on the back of the cylinder and then going into an air box, and then they put a cone filter inside the air box and you call it happy. These engines right here require a little bit more than that. So I wanted to touch base with you. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to hone this cylinder. What I am going to do, because of the hot spots, okay, so I want you guys to listen on this one. This is very important. So whenever you have hot spots like this that are uneven, see how there's one down here, one up here, okay, this cylinder could be hardened, or it might just simply need to be bored. Because there's not much travel of metal, I'm going to have it bored out. Now, to bore out a cast iron cylinder, you're looking at about 90 bucks. Okay, just about 90 bucks. 80 to 90 bucks to bore out a cast iron cylinder. If it was a nickel aluminum cylinder, it'd be a lot more, because they have to do it precisely. Now, we're going to be doing a video on that, on what to look for, and you can see I put some piston rings inside there. I'm going to show you guys how to check your piston rings, but that's not on this video. This video is just talking to you guys about the dirt ingestion. So make sure you have your air filter inside your air box. Just because you have an air box on there, that's not good enough. You need to have an air filter in there. You need to have your gasket. You need to have your carburetor plug. You need to have your filter down there or a plug. And you need to have your grommet around your fuel line. And you need to have your grommet here for your oil line and the cable going to your oiler. And of course, I think I already said it, but I'll say it again, the gasket. Those are the major components to keep it, because if you look, air flows through here into this big open area. You can put like 3-4 fingers in there, okay, and then it comes down through here. You see that opening? See, watch, I'll shut the light off. Okay, so the air flows through here into that box, into this cover, and it goes into your intake. Okay, so it's very important that this is all sealed up, because what could happen is dirt can get in here. Alright, and I'll show you something. I'm going to use this right here to show you. But where your fuel line comes in, see it right there? That piece going up and down? And that right there is the opening right into your airstream. Okay? Same thing with your carburetor plug. If you don't have the carburetor plug, see right here? Dirt can get right up on top of the carburetor. And of course, same through here. It will come through that way. So it's all into your air box. These engines are differently designed. And that one right there, that's a dangerous one, because if you go through water and mud, and you can see all the crap that's in there, because I washed it all out. So I cleaned that all up around there, and I said to myself, we gotta take that cylinder off. I gotta check that out, because there was so much dirt that came out of this thing, flushing it, and I could see what it all did. Funny thing is, this engine did run pretty good until it warmed up. And I think that's why I pulled it. So, dirt ingestion, is this engine rebuildable? Yes. Yes, it is. 100%. New piston, new rings, rebuild that crank, clean it up. Totally rebuildable. Can you flush it out the way it is? I wouldn't trust the bearings. And you can see the hole. That hole right there. That's for your bearing. So, for the oil to go in there. So, I really wouldn't flush it out. I would replace my 2 crank bearings. I would clean the crank, rebuild it, and then put it back together. What are my plans for this engine? Well, it'll go back on the shelf for now until I decide to rebuild it. This one is a 1976 KM100 motor, which is what I thought it was. But I ran the numbers and did confirm, made sure last night when it came off of. But it does have a lot of good pieces, parts and pieces. Got a good oil pump on it. So, I don't know, got a good mag. It's got a whole magneto, good gear shifter. It's got the old style wiring. So I figured I would do a quick video and talk to you guys about the what happens when you don't have an air filter of any sort on there and you get dirt in your motor. That's what happens, guys. That's a prime example of a dirty engine, no air filter or bad gaskets or lack of plugs. So anyway, so got the put my tire on, got my new front tire on there, no cracks, brand new, 35 bucks on eBay, guys. Boom, done. It was really nice. This is a 250 by 16, and it's a Kenda tire. Where are you? Right there. And it was, well, took 10 minutes to put on, so it was real simple. Real easy to do. I ride this bike all the time, so I got my new rear tire. You can still see the little bump things on it. So we got a new rear Kenda in the back, and one in the front. The back one I put on, like I said, last year, or year before after that, when I got that tire. So I got that on there. Now the bike is rolling beautifully. So anyway, guys, that's where I'm at with this. I just wanted to do a quick video and show you guys what dirt ingestion looks like at its finest. And we're going to be doing a video on how to gap rings. We're going to be doing that probably later on. I want to show you guys how to gap rings and get out the proper tools. But the weather keeps changing. I might do that a little after. I don't know. So anyway, guys, as always, hit that subscribe button. Subscribe to the channel. And these videos that I show you guys on the Kawasaki's also work on other bikes. So this is the same thing. Say you didn't have a rotary valve. Say you had a Honda and your carburetor was on the back, but you don't have an air filter on it. This will happen to you. Say you have a Yamaha with the carburetor on the back of the cylinder, and say it was a 250 or whatever bike you have, 350 or 400, 450. That will happen. And just so you know, this is not a two-stroke thing. This also affects four-stroke engines. So if you're running a four-stroke with no air filter, that dirt and debris will go in through the intake valve. It'll sandblast your valve, and it will ruin your piston the same way. Just that when it ruins a piston, it typically ruins the tops. But, you know, of course, it dries out the cylinder, and it creates a lot of damage, guys. It's just a bad thing. You can really blow your motor up with it. So take care of your engine. Put a filter on it, okay? And if you're using a cone filter, which is very bad, I don't like those, but you might have to rejet. So keep an eye on the temperature, you know what I mean? So anyway, guys, hit that subscribe button. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And thank you for all your support. I love you guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.